Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to another week of Tier S here for AEC. This time, we are at the historical city of Baku. I mean, look at that. Look at that building. If you don't want to listen to Joseph's mad singing, or if your ears were burnt by what you heard, then please make your way over here. I will not do any singing unless requested. I'm certainly not going to be singing any Wonderwall, that's for sure. But as I said, here we are, round 6 of the ACTRS season. No reports have unfortunately been posted as of from last week, so we don't know what the final results were, but hopefully there weren't any major changes. But one thing I can say at least is there won't be any qualifying bans, so that surely will be something. I just want to see if we've got any Ferrari drivers tonight that fancy doing a Leclerc. What odds? What Cheltenham odds can we put on that? 9-4, maybe? Maybe evens? I don't know. I might even have to give you money. But unfortunately, because I'm not hosting, it looks like there isn't going to be any rain. Or at least not for qualifying. Oh. Normally at this point, I'd actually think about doing those standings, but I don't think they're actually updated. No. No, they are not. Oh well, never mind. Never mind. Maybe at some point, actually. Maybe at some point it could be updated during the stream. But anyway, let's see. As the drivers, or some of them at least, are starting to head out onto the track. And normally, as ever, whenever he does decide to race, John Murphy likes to be the first person out on track. So we will get a nice little onboard of the Aston Martin as he makes his way through on his outlap. The fact that no one is coming out and well, everyone seems to be taking their time, and only a few people are out at the moment, kind of tells me, as mentioned, it doesn't look like we're going to have any rain whatsoever. But after a tense battle last week, as I said, it does, and it not looking like many of the results are going to be changing, or hopefully none of the top results, or I at least hope not the top result. Shizu's Elite Risk took the win, if I remember rightly, last week. Even included is our own strategy of taking out our own teammates, on purpose. Obviously, it wasn't on purpose. He wouldn't do such a thing. But no, that seems to be maybe our strat is to, if you're going to win a race, hit your teammates. But I advise other teams to try it. Just don't win the race. That would be if that's the one piece of advice I can give, then that's what you're going to get. But Joe Murphy, coming out of what is, well, not even the final corner, really. You've still got this little twisty section, which in the rain is certainly not the easiest. But Joe Murphy coming down this insanely long, sort of straight, and then onto with the DRS active. Right on board with the Aston Martin man, driving for BRT as he starts his first flying lap into turn 1. Flips the car in third gear. Does really short shift to fourth, which, well, to be honest, I probably would do, but I'm terrible. Through turn 2, stays in third gear, and now onto the next DRS straight. Nowhere near as long, obviously, as the main one, but this is one of the hardest braking points on the entire track. He's getting it right, turning and flicking the car in. John Murphy taking that really nicely as he heads through turn 3 into turn 4. And again, obviously, you do have a lot of 90-degree corners here in Baku, a lot of third gear corners. Gearbox is not going to be too happy with the amount of downshifts and upshifts immediately, but Joe Murphy so far so good on his opening lap as we now head into the castle section. Let's see how we can take it this first time round. Does he avoid the wall on the exit? Yes, he does. Takes a good amount of speed and uses as close to every inch as possible as he can. Unfortunately, we don't have AWS here, so I can't show you as to how close he was to the wall at that point, but my guess is it was close enough. Down the hill now into the tricky little off-cambered acceleration zone there, going down the hill. Now Joe Murphy get a little bit of wheel spin, but still managed to keep the car somewhat in a straight line. And that final curb, if you take a bit too much of that, can easily unsettle the car, as it nearly did for him. But Joe Murphy now has what has been a decent banker lap for him. Now we just wait an eternity. May as well get a book out and read to see how long it's going to take for him to get to the end of Sector 3 with the DRS open. What does Joe Murphy say? It's a 1:38.9. Not a bad time there. I'll be honest, I don't know what times we're looking at. All I can say is M-Racer goes into second and is the best part of nearly 9/10 down. So a lot of work there to do for M-Racer, unfortunately, as Typical has already binned it. I'm actually going to go and find his teammate Harvey. He's just actually gone past him. In fact, I'm now going to show him which McLaren is that. It's not Joseph, so it's going to be Placky. And oh, his car's going to go now, but he's actually binned it through this little complex through here somewhere, and again on an area which in dry is easy, or at least I think is easy. But anyway, well, that's Typical done, and well, he's going to be lucky if he doesn't start in last place, as Placky goes into P3 behind Ogwin and ahead of Flo. And Joe Murphy's time is looking very, very strong at this very early stage. He's still over half a second clear of his nearest rival. Joseph going to come across the line now for TT1's EC. It's only a 1:40.2 for Placky's teammate there. Liam Hardman, his teammate, has just finished his lap, which is Jacob. He goes into P10 and slowest of the drivers at the moment before Liam decides he wants to take that crown away from him and now goes into P11. Obviously, Baku is such a really difficult circuit just to nail, 3/4 of the lap, let alone the whole entire lap, as Patrick now unfortunately goes slowest with a 1:41.7. But and it looks like at the moment, apart from Easton, who is coming through the castle section, and I'm not sure if he has actually backed out of his lap, and he actually hasn't. I thought I couldn't tell them for a second, but he's going to be the last person to finish their opening lap times. With likes of Magician, Justin, Partik, and Gabor all either abandoning or not actually coming out onto track as of yet. But Easton's going to be the last person to set their initial lap time as he comes through. Well, I was going to say the last proper final corner, but obviously Typical has proved me wrong. Let's see if Easton can not bin into the wall, and he gets close on the exit, but thankfully doesn't. I know, Crib. It's mental, isn't it? I don't know how he's managed that, but he has. We won't. Might have to ask in the chat as to how the hell Typical's managed that. Maybe he just didn't want to do qualifying. But Easton goes P12 with a 1:40.5, but out in front, Joe Murphy, like I said, over half a second clear of Mr. Ogwin. It's pretty tight actually, with the likes of Ogwin, Placky, and Flo. Separated about less than 2/10. But I expect this to be nothing like last week, where everybody was insanely close. This week, I'm expecting a massive field spread. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Good evening, Matty. Hello, welcome to the non-singing championship round. Like I said, I'm not doing any singing, all right. I already sound a bit like horse. There's something clearly going round, so I sure as hell don't want to pick up anything. As already we're in that bit of a lull point where not a great deal is going to be happening, but Magician's going to prove me wrong, as he's now going to attempt to finish his first, well, let's say clean lap, or lap that he doesn't want to go into the pits. For Team NVR, both drivers still not set a lap time, and well, here comes Magician into turn one. Actually takes it in fourth gear, unlike Joe Murphy there, taking it in third. So a different start aspect already for the NVR man through turn two and onto the power and on with the DRS. Obviously, anybody who is a football fan, I don't know if there are any West Ham supporters, but obviously if there are any West Ham supporters, then you'd be extremely happy with your result tonight. Just having a quick... How are Liverpool 3-0 up already? I mean, I suppose it is Sparta Prague, but the fact as well that Bobby Clark scores a goal, that is just, well... They may as well have put a full kids team out in that case. But anyway, away from that, obviously I'm not a Liverpool supporter. That's why I'd rather we're losing 3-0, not winning 3-0. As Magician through the castle section, like he'd done a decent job through that. I didn't actually see, I'll be honest, his sector one time. Too busy looking at the Liverpool scores. As Justin now has decided that he wants to join his former FRT teammate and has been at turn 3 though this time. So that's the second driver already to have come a cropper in this qualifying session. As Magician apparently is purple in the middle sector. I don't take that. I don't buy that at all unless I see him go to the top of the timing sheet or at least very close to Joe Murphy. I will not believe that for 1 second. But Magician now coming through the last little part. Now we again waiting eternity as Placky has picked up a 5-place grid penalty. So that is going to be a restart, unfortunately. Afterwards, Magician goes P6 on a 139.8, but still the best part of nearly a second off Joe Murphy out in front. Joe Murphy could actually probably just put his feet up at this rate and not have to do anything. He is actually on a lap at the moment, but we'll go on board with Magician's teammate, Enviar Gabor, as he's just gone through the castle section. Coming out of it now, had a McLaren not in his way, but moved out the way nicely for him to not get held up. Coming into the downhill braking zone. This area is extremely tricky, as mentioned, to get right, but Gabor perfectly done through there. He's now going down to the bottom of the hill. 15.1 end of the sector, second sector. He's actually 3/10 down off it, nearly 3/10 down off his teammate Magician through that middle sector. So Gabor looking like he's gonna might be into a low 40 unless he's got some extremely good straight line speed. 4-0 now. Great. Fantastic. As Gabor to the line actually goes 2,000 slower than his teammate Magician, so does a decent final sector and puts himself into P7 for the time being. I'm just trying to find who is actually on the lap. I think Flo has actually abandoned, or sorry, invalidated his lap time. His teammate Trey is about to start a lap. I think in that case we'll go on board with Joe Murphy. He was just under half a tenth up through the end of the second split as Justin has left the session. Obviously he knows that yes, it's going to be a restart with Placky's BS 5-place grid penalty. But yes, Joe Murphy to the line. Can he improve on his 138.9? Yes, he can. He extends it by a further 69 thousandths there, does Joe Murphy, and into the 38.8. I think that's an Alpine of Sasha going through. No, he's not. He's invalidated. Simbrooks won. So it was actually his teammate that crossed the line then of Patrick. Completely getting the wrong person. Harvey going across the line. Where does he go? He goes into P8, into the 39s, a 39.9, but best part of 1.1 seconds. Off Joe Murphy. M-Racer coming to finish his time, and actually just missed it. Ogwin has gone P2 on a 39 flat, a quarter of a second off Joe Murphy, and M-Racer further 4/10 down near enough on his teammate. But Team Shizou here look like they are going to be the ones who are going to be challenging Joe Murphy here, potentially for the maybe for pole position. Where does Placky go? He actually splits these Shizou Red Bull boys and goes into P3 on a 0.3. So times are finally starting to come down a bit. Where does Placky's TTM teammate of Joseph go? He's actually 1.8 seconds down, so he's not going to improve. But Simbrooks won, also going into the box, not happy with his lap time. Trey, does he go into the box? Is it going to be third time lucky? The answer is it is third time lucky. Where can Trey go? Can he improve on his P10? The answer is yes, and he actually goes onto the third row with his teammate Flo with a mid-39. Decent lap there by Trey to join his teammate. I think there's going to have to be a Williams, I think, next to Patrick coming through the quick section. The Aston Martin there. I think of Joe Murphy getting well out. Well, it has to be Joe Murphy because Justin's out of qualifying. So, Patrick, can he get anywhere near towards his teammate? Can he get into that top 10? Can he improve on his time? The answer is yes. By a good 8/10 nearly there, but only improves by 1 place to go ahead of Liam Hardman. So Patrick has got a lot of work to do, and I think at the moment that is actually, unless Jacob out on track and on the lap, which he is, he's got a McLaren in his way. Hopefully that McLaren's going to get out of his way. Did he? questionable maybe there if he got held up at all. Yeah, I know it's mega. Yeah, 14.1 middle split. I didn't see what his first sector was. I think Jacob's actually come out abandoned now his lap. Yeah, he's harvesting, so he's turned the power off, the battery off even. But yeah, 14.1 middle split. Yeah, definitely could have some insanely insane high wings. I didn't see what Ogwin's middle split was, but the fact that he's only a tenth and a half down, he could have been close to it. We never know. As I am just going to inform the drivers that there will be a lobby restart. Right, hopefully everyone's now got the memo that there will be a new lobby. Yeah, just retire. Yeah, that'd be easier. Just stay in the lobby then. Yeah, I'm kind of half talking to myself here at the same time. It's no wonder that I'm losing the plot here. If I ever had the plot to begin with. Right. Everyone's now starting to come out for their final runs. Easton actually already, that's perfect actually. I was already on board with Easton, but he's obviously, well, he's finished. I think that's him actually finished actually for this whole entire session. Potentially P13 is the best that he's going to get. So, on board with Magician, he will be the first driver to finish, well, to start and maybe finish their final runs. They just love it when things don't go to plan. Right, there we go. Now I've made it more clear. Or I hope I've made it more clear at least anyway. Right, Magician in the final sector, coming through the fast little complex section. Wait about 9 years for him to then finally start his final attempt in qualifying. Trying to see if there's any quick updates to the scores. Obviously, yeah, Liverpool 4-0 up. That's a shame. And I'm not really bothered about anything else. The fact, well, Villa's still drawing 0-0 at the moment. Obviously, it's 0-0 in aggregate and that whole thing altogether. But Magician down the first DRS straight into turn 3. This is where Justin had actually binned it. Not so much for Magician this time. For Magician, no issues there for him through turn 4. Misses the apex on the inside. It actually just about clatters the wall ever so slightly on the exit there. So not the best of starts for Magician, but he is a tenth and a half up on his previous best. So far so good here for the NVR man as we now enter the castle section. Clipping the... Oh, he's gone. He's completely outbroke himself there. Decided that he wanted to go Tokyo drifting. And unfortunately, yeah, and now he's just clattered the wall a little bit there on the inside. So I think that is Magician's lap done and dusted. And there we go. He's invalidated now. So that is that is Magician. Going to be no better than P7. Joe Murphy. 800ths up through that first sector. He's actually just behind Magician on track. Magician moves completely out the way. Joe Murphy now into this, like I said, tricky downhill section. Perfectly done there. Kisses the wall on the exit, but doesn't do his scrubbing speed anymore than he does. But he's actually lost time. As Joe, he's lost over a tenth. He's 300ths down. Can he find anything through that left-hander? The answer is no. He's gone and hit the wall. He's obviously not happy with himself for the mistake that he made. So obviously that's Joe Murphy not improving. Gabor will be then the third driver to attempt and at least improve on his time. Currently down into P8. NVR on the fourth row at the moment. Not where they would have thought or would have hoped they'd want to be. Bobbits doesn't know. Yes, but Bobbits doesn't know anything as Joe Murphy actually goes and improves. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, did I actually read something that if you hit the wall, you can go quicker? Did I actually read that somewhere? Maybe I missed some. Maybe that is an actual thing. Maybe it is. As Ogwin is invalidated, so he's not going to be improving. Plucky is 4.5 tenths down. He's not improving. Floco into the line, 10th.5 up. Where does he go? He goes ahead of M-Racer at least, so he's onto the... Well, the front part of the third row is Gabor actually went into 4th place. Completely missed that, you know, just as you do. As Trey has got no front wing. Yep. That's definitely not the quickest way to go around this track. Yeah, I guess I've seen something then. I've completely forgot all about that. I completely forgot about that. I didn't realise if that was an actual thing or not, if that was just, you know, BS. But anyway, either way, obviously it's helped. Joel's obviously lost 300s and then gained them back and went quicker. Did it matter? Not really, because nobody else actually got into the 38s. Joe actually would have been on pole from his initial bank a lap time as it is anyway. But he's got a quarter of a second lead, a gap over Ogwin in P2. It is fairly tight, actually, you know, between third down to 7th, I think it was, or 8th. But it'd be interesting to see what wings people were using. But we are going to be having, well, not exactly a lobby restart, but with Placky's stupid 5-place grid penalty. But we will be having to go back to the main menu and wait for, well, hopefully for Jacob not to take forever and age to set everything up. But as it stands, Joe Murphy will be on pole from Ogwin, from Placky, from Gabor and Flo. The top five cars for 5 different teams. Not bad going whatsoever. M-Racer will be 6th. Trey will be 7th with Sasha 8th. Harvey 9th. And Magician running out the top 10. From Simbarox, Jacob, Joseph, Easton, Patrick, Partick, Liam, and then Typical and Justin, who decided they didn't want to participate in qualifying and decided to hit the wall. Oh, don't you just love it for when people are complaining about lobby restarts? That's just the rules. That's just what it is. Don't complain at me. I'm just here doing my job. But I do hope that Jacob actually managed to... What is the German word generation game? What the hell is that? That's an interesting one. Joseph, you're 5/10 up and you decided to... And you went into a wall. I mean, if you wanted to hit the wall and go into the wall, then why not? But definitely not my advice. Walls are not your friend, unless you happen to gain time from it and extend your your pole position time. Now, unlike everybody else, I'm not going to have some fancy graphics or anything just to say that whilst we're waiting. I'm going to give you guys the benefit of watching the screen and wait until we decide to go. But here is your leaked winner, Justin. It will win the race. There you go. Justin is going to win this race. What we will do in the meantime is have a look at the see how the darts is coming along. And currently in the Van Gerwen Luke Littler match, it is currently 2 legs apiece. Well, I know I'm going to be behind because I'm on my phone, but currently it is 2 legs apiece between the two players. This is the third quarter final. Ooh, that's not a good dart. It's a bad marker. Oh, but wait, the guy's too good. Yes, Smeggy. Yeah, Ogwyn was on pole. Yes. Oh dear, right. Well, hopefully Jacob is as quick as I am in getting these things back up and running. We're not having to wait. Oh God, what, half an hour maybe? For anyone who's watching EOR, the amount of bloody restarts that they had to have. All right, just have to make sure everything looks right. Unfortunately, I don't trust some people sometimes when I'm not doing it myself. Right. Thankfully, Jacob was very quick, and we can actually get going. That's again if people know where to find the ready up button. All right. Finally, we're going. Thank goodness. So that's right. Whilst whilst this does load up, get in the chat, everybody. Get me your predictions. Who do you think is going to be top 3? One thing that I'm going to predict is how many virtual safety cars or safety cars we're going to have, and it's going to be a total of 4. As to how many of each, I don't know, but I'm going with 4. Especially based off qualifying that we had 2 people bin it. Not that I could do much better. Definitely a professional stream when you decide to get a drink out ready whilst you're waiting. You don't get this on real F1. Anyway, it looks like, because I didn't actually see what the weather settings were going to be, it's going to be dry. This is why I need to host. Why do you want dry sessions all the time? Oh, Aston Villa have scored. Only 9 minutes ago. But obviously I wasn't paying attention. In fact, actually, what I'm slightly more bothered about is what's happening in League 2. Salford City are beating Stockport? I don't support either team. My team are currently not playing tonight, and they're in 6th. The mighty Barrow, the Bluebirds. But yeah, predictions in the chat. Everyone, tell me who you think your top 3 is going to be. Now, I've already said this in my chat, that I was not going to go and predict M-Racer this time. Because last time I did that, which was on Monday, he got tagged around on the first lap. So I'll go with Ogwin instead. I swear, if he retires or something happens to him, I'm just not predicting anyone ever again. But we have now reached the point where the drivers can ready up. Be interesting to see what tyres everyone's going to go for. It'll also be interesting to see what everyone's straight line speed is. And the host is gone. That's good. I'm going to have to invite him now, aren't I? Bloody brilliant. Oh, he's already in. I don't need to invite him. Never mind. Minute, like, I swear, do people not follow what I bloody say? For those who have finished watching the EOR, if it has finished, hello and welcome to AEC. We have had a lobby restart. I actually don't know if EOR's finished, but either way, welcome. What have you missed? Apart from qualifying, nothing. We're still waiting. Someone has still decided we haven't readied up yet. And finally we have. Here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights. They took an ace there, and Gabor has got a jump start. Did he do a Perez or a Norris? But either way, Gabor has jumped the start. That's not great there for NVR, but down into turn 2 we go, and there's a lot of ghosting going on there. I don't know if there's lag or it's just because of people braking or anything, but that's a yeah. Well, that's a McLaren just driving through everybody. That's got to be desync. Surprise, surprise, NVR were the only ones to go for the soft tyre. But yeah, I can't tell if this is if this lobby is absolutely messed up. Answers on a postcard, please. Well, anyway, I suppose we're carrying on. If it's okay for the drivers, then I suppose. But I don't know. Either way, the only thing I can say is M-Race is in P2 behind Joe Murphy. Placky is going under threat from Gabart on his soft tyres, but obviously Gabart's got that drive-through. Does he take it this lap? The answer is no. Right, so I'm finally now getting confirmation. Right, yeah, I've got to call it. Because this is... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we had to call that. That was... I didn't know if it was maybe just on my end, but obviously there's... Ever since the host decided he wanted to lag out completely, we can't be having that. So this is actually not just going to be as bad as EORs. We can actually officially confirm that. In the meantime, whilst we wait, we'll watch some... Well, I was going to say see some crashing, but that's not going to happen anymore. Oh. Yeah, initially, Tez, it did look like Mr. Hale's got an interesting start. Yes. At the same time, a certain NVR driver is lucky that his drive-through penalty no longer is valid, and he gets a second bite at the cherry. But look at that, Justin, 19th to second. He was first last time. He could actually get a podium. What we will do is I'm going to have to restart my game, aren't I? Yeah, apologies, everybody. Right, so once again, whilst we wait, I'm going to have a cheeky look at the scores. So, Sporting Lisbon have scored away at Atalanta and are now 2-1 up on aggregate. Brighton have actually finally got a goal now in their in their tie with Roma, but are still 4-1 down. Oh, Liverpool have conceded. Sparta Prague have just scored. So it's 9-2 on aggregate. Anything can happen. They only need another 8 goals. And that's as much as I'm interested in. Aston Villa are still leading, so... do you know what? I actually hope that they do get through. I really do hope they get through. Right, now we'll go to something that's clearly more important. And have a quick back look at the darts again. The mighty Rob Cross and Nathan Aspinall going to go head to head. Haven't even started yet. Oh, hopefully sometime soon. Who are we actually waiting on to join? Oh, there it is. It's Magician. This is where maybe sometimes the actual putting things on in between is a good idea, but I cannot be bothered. Right. Oh, looks good. Okay. What are we on? 46. Let's say 50. And hopefully we don't have to do this again. Because it's getting frustrating. Ooh, Sturm Graz has equalised at Lille. 4-1 on aggregate now, but yeah, that's not going to do anything. Ooh, Olympiacos. 2-0 up at Maccabi Tel Aviv. Now 4-3 in aggregate. They only need one more goal to level. Not bad. Nearly fully recovered. Right. Here we go again. We have a 2-minute wait. By which, hopefully, Jacob doesn't lag out. And we can actually get a race going. The question is, can Gabor get a second drive-through penalty? Stranger things have happened. And will MVR be on the soft tyres again? My answer is yes. Ugh. So we'll remind everybody of the starting positions, as they're also going to be picking their tyres. So, Joe Murphy was your comfortable pole winner, I guess you could say. From Ogween, Dan Placky, your top three. Gabor, fourth. Floward, fifth. Emrace is sixth. Trey is seventh. Sasha having a decent qualifying in eighth. Harvey, ninth. And Magician, probably the... well, what's the best way I can put it? Going to be disappointed to be in 10th. He's got a lot of work to do. With Simbarox 11th, Jacob will be 12th, Joseph 13th, and Easton, Patrick, Partick, Liam, and then Typical and Justin, who I expect to make their way through the field, but where can they finish? What can they do for their respective teams? I mean, this literally is a BRT sandwich as they occupy first and last on the grid. And I can now officially say this time, now that EOR has finished, for those who have joined us onto AEC, where the hell have you been? You should have been here from the start. At least you wouldn't have had the singing. Certainly don't do anything like that unless I am out on a night out. I wonder if Joseph was paid to do that. I'll ask him later. Just going to say, any second now, hopefully the drivers are going to go out onto the track. And here we have 5 red lights on immediately. And they go on very quickly this time. It's lights out and away we go. Gabor does not get a drive-through penalty this time, but it's the same as it was last time. Joe Murphy leads them into turn 1. Ogween there in second place, side by side there between Flo and Emracer. Flo there trying to go around the outside as Emracer sends it down his inside and leaves him enough space, but gets into 5th place ahead of the TF10 driver. Trey tucked in behind his teammate. He's got Sasha Andre trying to make a half a move down the inside line. It looked like he was going to try and make the move there, but decided to get back in. Magician has already gained 1 place. He's already up ahead of FRT Harvey. And looks like everything from behind has stayed single file. But Justin has gone from the last on the grid, already up into P14. So a good start there from Justin, trying to make him enter qualifying. And Typical himself has made his way up into P16. So a good start from them too. As Magician now trying to have a look down the inside of Sasha Andre as they start the castle section. Good move there from Magician. He needs to get that done. As my guess is, he is going to be on the soft compounded tyres, and indeed he is. And in fact, he's the only driver to be on the soft compounded tyres. Everybody else is on the hard tyres. So Gabor has changed his mind as to which tyre he wants to be on. I'm not too sure what the rules are on that. I'm guessing you're allowed to change, but I know I've had people in the before cry about that, and you have to stay with the tyre compound that you initially started on. But anyway, here we go. Coming to the end of lap 1, as that was a car just going straight on in the background, and that car was Patrick in the Williams. Don't know if he's picked himself up any damage, and the answer is he has. He's just completely locked up, my guess is, and has gone into the wall. But Joe Murphy is going to lead at the end of lap 1 as Emracer and Placky going side by side down the start-finish straight, and Emracer jumps ahead of the TTM man into P4. So Joe Murphy leads. He's got an 8/10 gap over Ogween, so for the 8/10 ahead of Gabor. Emracer up into 4th, Placky 5th, Flo 6th, Magician now up into 7th place as he made the move there, and Trey on the inside into turn 1. So Trey down to 8th with Sasha Nathan Harvey rounding out the top 10. Magician is getting these moves done early. I'm not too sure how long these soft compounded tyres can last, but he's going to obviously make these moves as quick as you can. Patrick obviously into the pits to get his front wing changed. Surprised there wasn't actually, and he's actually retired. I mean, considering that this is safety car prone, that's well, that's his decision at the end of the day. But I certainly wouldn't have given up anyway. That's not the mentality that you want to have. But we're down to 18 runners and riders already. Look out the front. Joe Murphy is now already cleared a second over Ogween. He's already pulled out the DRS, but Ogween has also done the same on Gabor, and Gabor has done the same on Emracer. So currently the train is from Emracer down into Liam Hardman in P17. Partick struggling a little bit there at the back. But the gap's already starting to appear. It's going to come down to, I mean, what setup have these guys got? What wings have they got? Who's on the high downforce? Who's on the low downforce? You know, who's set up for the middle sector and who's set up for sectors 1 and 3? It's a difficult one, is this track. It's a case of which one is going to be more beneficial. If you're out in front, then you can afford to go for that higher downforce. But again, it just comes down to how quick everybody else is. Through there is Magician, closing up to the back of Flo. He's on get my bloody words out, on the ERS, on the battery. Not deploying the battery now, trying to stick in the slipstream of the TF10 driver. Is he going to send it down the inside into turn 1? The answer is yes, he is. I thought he was just trying to half fake it there, but proving me wrong. Magician passes the second TF10 driver, gets himself up into P6, and now he's going to hunt down the TTM driver, TTM Placky, who does not have the DRS, coming down this back straight. Magician on the battery, burning that away. He'll want to get ahead of the McLaren driver into turn 3 so he can try and gain through the area where he's clearly going to gain most time with those soft compounded tyres, and indeed he does. He's up into P5, so Magician made up 5 places already in these opening 2 and a bit laps. Quick look at the, not the penalties, at the position changes. Obviously you can see Galbar, Emirates are up 1 and 2 respectively, Magician up 5, Justin now up to 6 places into 13th, Typical up 3 into 15th, and obviously those in the middle losing between 1 and 3. Placky losing 3 places already, so it's not been the best of starts there for the TTM man, but obviously we know that his racecraft, his race pace is very good, and he will probably come good at the end. But Magician already nearly clearing over a second to Placky. Placky's going to have to do, he's going to do his best to try and stick within that DRS, but Magician clearly is very, very quick at the moment. Like it's, well, Cowboy doing a decent job up in P3, obviously gaining a place, but he's 1.8 seconds down already on Ogwin in P2. Obviously, as I said, the gap's already starting to appear. Magician will have the DRS on Emre, so he'll be using that just to try and close in ever so slightly. Maybe might make a move on the next lap. And maybe try and save his battery a little bit, because he has used up quite a substantial amount already. As behind Placky's teammate Joseph going down the inside of Simbarox 1 into the first corner, down the inside. It's these move onwards. Simbarox 1 getting a very loose on the exit. I don't know if he had a bit of contact there with Justin, but Justin maybe getting a little impatient now. He's wanting to try and get further up the field. He's on that battery. He's going to go and look on the inside line into turn 3. Gets the car stopped nicely, beautifully, just hits that apex. Simbarox 1 does not really defend that whatsoever. And Justin already up into P12, so as mentioned, obviously now up 7 positions in 3 and a bit laps. Is the BRT man doing a good job getting back up through the field and trying to score some decent points along with his teammate, who's obviously leading this this Baku race. Into the castle section. Justin now following Joseph, who at the moment is just about sticking in the DRS of Harvey in front of him. I mean, these gaps are quite substantial. DRS is not really going to benefit anybody with gaps of 6, 7, 8 and 9 tenths per second. As we come down the hill now, Justin riding that curb on the exit there. Looked like it unsettled the car a little bit. That was inevitable. That's what happens when you're starting to sound like a bloody horse. Oh. As behind Justin, Easton now is looking for a move potentially on Simbarox 1. Simbarox 1 seems to be struggling at this moment in play. He's gained a few places to start, now starting to drop down the field. Is Easton going to go for a move down the inside? The answer is he decides not to, as Jacob goes into the box. I'm guessing that he's had a bit of a crash somewhere in the castle section, as that is Justin down the inside of Joseph in through turn 2, and he was behind the detection point, so he's going to have the DRS to help him try and pull away. Joseph will not have that, might come under threat from Simbarox 1. But the answer is he doesn't, but now there's a big gap between these two of 2 seconds between Harvey in P10 and Justin now in P11. Joseph's going to have to get his skates on if he wants to try and close it. We've got a yellow flag, and that is Partick, who's, I'm guessing, has gone deep at turn 3. And thankfully, with there only being 1 car, at least you can't reverse into another driver. up at the front. Joe Murphy is just in another league. 3.5 seconds clear of Ogwin. And Ogwin is no slouch. And neither is Gabor. But obviously Gabor now starting to close in on Ogwin. On this 5th lap. I'm not sure if there's a bit of damage, as that is Partick, and I think he's gone into the wall, and indeed he has. This time maybe he has gone into the wall, and this time I think he has picked up damage. So Partick is the second victim now to come a cropper here on this very tight street circuit, as we go back and forth with Gabor, who will have the DRS on the back of Ogwin. Is he going to decide to go and make a move? The answer is no, but behind him, though, Gabor's teammate Magician, now those soft tyres are starting to go. Above, Flo and Placky are looking for a move. Flo looking for a double overtake. Down the inside on the pair of them, and the answer is Flo gets that move done. A good effort, great move there from TF10 Flo. Gets ahead. Oh, Placky trying to look down the inside. I thought there was going to be contact there. That looked like half a lunge. Did I see a car sideways behind? No, I'm just seeing things. No, what I was actually seeing was Trey going for a double move himself. TF10 going for double moves here on TTM and Novus Racing. Can Trey get this move done round the outside? Oh, Placky just took a bit too much curb there on the inside. Not sure if he's left just enough space. But TF10 Flo and Trey making a double move on Placky and Magician. And they're now into 5th and 6th. I mean, if Kenzie's watching, Kenzie, shoot, you're going to be happy with that. That was some good moves there by your drivers. As we have another yellow flag, and it's Simba Rocks 1. He's gone into the wall, and I'm surprised it's taken this long. We finally have our first safety car. I'm actually going to go on board with Partick when he eventually gets around, because it looks like he's done a Leclerc. And the answer is yes, he has. I'm sure I just saw the damage and the debris on the track there, but either way, first safety car, it's taken this long. And Joe Murphy has decided he is going to pit, and no doubt probably going to go onto a medium set of tyres. Gabor actually had got into P2 ahead of Ogwin. Obviously, I've missed that at some point, so my guess is everybody is going to come in and make a stop. As to what tyres they're going to go on, we'll certainly find out. So Joe Murphy goes on to the mediums, as does Ogwin, as does Gabor. Yeah, I think everyone here is going to go onto the medium tyres. Obviously, Jacob has not long pitted onto the medium, so he will not, or my guess is he won't be pitting once again, or else he's only going to have, depending on what, if he's gone for balance or softer or harder or whatever, he's going to get one more fresh set of medium tyres. But everybody has indeed gone for the medium tyres. As to whether these can get them to the end or not, I have absolutely no idea. And Jacob does decide to pit. Interesting. So, word from Simbarox 1 as to how he's managed to get that DNF. He just simply turned in too early. Easily done. Easily done. Right, well, no doubt we're going to be waiting at least over a lap. Safety car will not be coming in this lap. Hopefully it will come in the end of next lap when Jacob and Partick eventually do close in onto the back of the train. But in the meantime, we'll have a quick look at the football and see if there's been any changes. Ooh, Olympiacos scored a third before half-time, so that game is now level for those interested in the Europa Conference League. And that's it. Everything else is said exactly the same as to what I saw previously. Hmm. Can't it going slow? Think a second, had he hit the wall again? And this time under safety car? The answer is he hasn't. Let's not have a Grosjean Ericsson bloody BS thing this time. So what we will do, something you're not going to get too often, is we might, if he's going to join, we'll have a little chat with our retiree. And just get his thoughts there on those first 6 laps. When he eventually does that is anyway. Ah, the safety car is finally going to come in. Thank bloody hell. Ah. Here's Mr. Simbrooks one as we speak. Remember to include your audio, but what happened there, mate? Just the walls were too attractive?
I think it's very simple, mate. I think I just put it in the wall. I turned it too early. I mean, I was hoping I'd be interviewed for an unlikely podium in the near future, not for being the first person to bin it, so that's not ideal. Yeah, just fell into the castle, and that was all she wrote.
Unfortunately, that's a double retirement now for your team as well, so there's going to be no points from today, but hopefully you can bounce back next week. But I mean, it looked promising to begin with, and then you just seem to... Obviously, you lost a couple of places, but what was the plan? Was it just a case of... well, obviously, if there was no safety car, was it to go long? Was it to get an undercut? What's the best strat?
I think it was just surviving, mate. I think... well, obviously, I didn't survive. I'm out of the race, but...
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I think the best idea was probably to just play the long game, see what happens, and then probably react to the people around us. But yeah, just I think it's another chance from begging. I think I could have got top 10 in quali, and yeah, it would have been a little bit easy in the race. But crashing in Baku was inevitable, but it's not great to do it in the early stages.
No, definitely it's not. Well, obviously, like I said, so unfortunately, yeah, double DNF for your team. But like I said, hopefully you can bounce back next week, and hopefully, well, you can maybe get some Imola practice in now.
Yeah, yeah, I need to make sure that I'm actually proving what I'm intended to in WR, but I don't think I've done that today. So there's always tomorrow.
Well, no, don't worry. I've not done a single lap yet myself, so I'll be doing some afterwards. But thanks for joining us. And obviously unlucky that you're already in the paddock box. But we'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, no worries, Bob. But good luck to everyone else. Don't do what I did. I wouldn't recommend it. And yeah,
oh, definitely.
See you later.
It's not often you get that on a stream, as Gabor has obviously we have gone back under racing under green flags, and Gabor has made a massive mistake somewhere coming into the downhill left-hander off camber, and Gabor is missing part of his front left end plate there. That front right left that makes complete sense. That front right end plate is completely missing on the AlphaTauri, and Gabor has dropped 3 places already. He decides he's going to hang it out and stay out, but M Racing now going to go down the inside of Gabor into turn 1, late on the brakes, and the Shizou driver gets ahead of Gabor into P5. Shizou at the moment looking good in P2 and P5. Obviously, Magician did get held up, obviously, in the pits by his teammates, so all the early positions that he had gained, he's now immediately lost back down into 11th place. But look at Justin up in P9. Obviously, might have had a bit of help the fact that some people had to double stack, and he did have been so far behind Joe Murphy. But that is a great effort there from Justin. Obviously, now up into P9. So we've got yellow flags, and once again, it is Partick who seems to have outbroken himself into turn 3. And he's not missing his front wing, so he has just outbroken himself yet again. But look at Joe Murphy. This guy on this track is just in a completely different league. Already over 2 seconds clear of Ogwin in P2. That's in the space of, a lap and a half since we've gone back under green? That is just absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. M-Racer on the back of Placky. But Flo on the back, all over the back of Ogwin, so one Shazoo driver potentially attacking, whereas the other driver is potentially defending, with Placky in between at the moment. Gabon now out of the DRS of M-Racer. He's going to have Sasha Andre closing in on him. Sasha's gained a couple of places under that safety car, up into P7, and as M-Racer there just makes an easy move on Placky, going down the straight, obviously, and Gabor decides he's had enough. He's gone into the box. Obviously, that damage is just clearly too much, especially during, through that middle sector. He's just going to be losing time, hand over fist. What it has done is it has split the field up between 5th and 6th. As Placky now in the DRS of M-Racer, who's now gained back in the DRS of Flo. So he's a 4-car train from 2nd down to 5th. With Sasha Andre now going to do as best as he can. As down the inside there goes Justin, insanely late on the brakes on his former team boss, FRT Harvey. And he has just mugged him completely there. So Justin is absolutely on fire this race, making up for his huge mistake in qualifying, up into P7 now, and he's absolutely flying. As we have another yellow flag, and once again, Partick has gone into the wall, or has outbroke himself. I think this time, has he actually got himself wing damage? And he actually hasn't, so he's just clearly outbraking himself far too much, or he's locking up the brakes completely. Maybe we should play a game, actually, on how many times Partick does that. I think that's the 3rd time already this race, maybe the 4th. And we're not even at half race distance yet. There's Trey all over the back of FRT Harvey. Harvey looked like he's clearly struggling quite a bit. He's already just about dropped out of the DRS of BRT's Justin. And here comes TF10 Trey now all over the back of that Mercedes gearbox. And he's decided he is not going to wait any longer. Magician is a bit too far behind to take advantage, but Harvey does not defend that at all. And Trey goes up into 8th place, and Harvey loses yet another position. That is 2 places in 2 laps for the FRT man, and currently FRT's highest place runner with Typical down in 12th. Up towards the front, not a great deal happening. Flo just sticking close to the back of Ogwe, but not looking like he wants to be making any moves whatsoever. Justin now closing in ever so slightly onto the back of Sasha, but he has burnt that battery, as Sasha himself has been trying to burn that battery to close back in the DRS of that train in front. He's got very, very close to doing so. As towards the back, Gabor and Partick having their own little battle. These two have had their own mishaps this race, and Partick has retaken that 16th place from the Novus Racing man. Currently, NVR not having a good day here. Well, it was going well initially to begin with Magician on those soft tyres. He'd got into the top 5, and Gabor just got into P2 before the safety car. But what a difference a few laps can make, and what one safety car difference can make. And NVR now currently scoring, well, not great points for the moment, but BRT Joe Murphy now has a 3-second lead near enough over Shazoo's Ogwin. Sasha Andre has actually got into the DRS. He's burnt all his battery, but he has got into the DRS of Placky in front of him. So it was good effort there by Sasha. He's got some good pace, but this train is now from P2 down to P15 as Joseph Hales and Typical going side by side down the straight. Typical looks like he's going into the pit, and Magician actually has just been mugged completely. As he hits the back of Typical going into turn 1. I think Typical actually just cut across Magician into the braking zone, maybe unsettled his car as he tried to get the car stopped. So Magician does retake P11, but a little bit of argy-bargy there from Magician as he just lost those 2 places to Joseph and to Typical. What it has done, it has now created a gap from Harvey to Joseph. So these guys are now out of that DRS train in front of them. So Joseph has got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and close back in. But we look at the gaps. There's the gaps, you know, that no one is really like close to each other. You know, it's 7 tenths, 8 tenths. You know, Trey is the closest within the top 8 to anybody, being 6 tenths behind it. And Harvey is really, really struggling to stay on this train at the moment. Magician has actually got a lot of battery compared to the likes of everybody else around. He's been saving it. He's been clever here, trying not to use it. As finally, my chat seems to have refreshed itself and updated. Yeah, I've missed everything here because nothing was working in my chat, but now it is. Tez saying F13 Shizou are my favourites, to be fair. As Magician! What was that? Answers on a postcard, please. All I do know is Magician's now down to P13. And Justin has made another overtake, and this time his victim is TF10 Trey. So Justin now into P7. Gap at the front between the front 2. Not really gained too much on this last lap and a half. Ogween managing to keep that gap around the 3-second mark to Joe Murphy, but Joe obviously is going to be very comfortable out in front. He's just going to take a no-risk strategy and just try and maintain that gap. Sasha has now dropped out of the DRS of the train in front of him. So gap's starting to break up again. Harvey the same on the back of Justin and Trey. And yes, Tez, Justin, as we got yellow flags, and it's for Gabor this time, who's just gone. It's gone deep at turn 4 by the looks of it. Don't know if he's actually hit the wall. But yeah, simple answer, Tez, is he binned it in qualifying. And at I think it was at turn 3 or turn 4. But he's making up for it now, and he's now 3 tenths off the back of Sasha, but has got no battery to use whatsoever. But Justin looking like he's going to take another victim here. They're going to go up into P6, and there he goes on the inside line. He'll be able to cut back onto the racing line ahead of Sasha Andre, and that is Justin now up into P6 and having, like I said, a very good race. As Joseph now goes down the inside of FRT Harvey into turn 1 also. Harvey looking like he's going to try and retake that position down into turn 2, and indeed he does, gaining that place back straight away. And I was going to say he has the DRS, but neither of them have the DRS. Who has the DRS instead is FRT Typical. Joseph went to the... Typical. I thought he was going to send a lunge down the inside there. He does go ahead of Harvey. Obviously, Harvey is struggling substantially here in comparison. Obviously, now his teammate who started... Well, second to last there, Typical started. You know, Typical now into the top 10 at least, but Harvey is just going in the opposite direction. Joseph, what money were you paid to start singing, by the way? Did somebody give you a cheeky $5? No money. Must have been a voucher then. Or what on earth made you decide that you're just going to randomly start singing? And of all the songs that you pick. Back to the racing action. 10 racing laps to go. TF10 Trey is now on the back of Sasha Andre, who is using that DRS to try and close in onto the back of Justin. And Sasha, I think, is going to have to go for the move here because it looked like Trey was going to try and make a move on him. So Sasha down the inside of Justin into turn 1, takes P6. As behind them, Typical has got ahead of Joseph, and Easton looked like he was trying to make a move himself as Magician and Jacob go for the slightly earlier pit stop. I mean, I don't know if the mediums can actually make it to the end of the race. If anybody knows, please tell me. I don't have a clue. Can they go 19, 20 laps, these medium tyres? Obviously, Magician and Jacob decided to box. Still a bit intrigued as to what happened with Magician's pace, if I'm brutally honest. And unless he had some damage that I couldn't see, but he just seemed to be going backwards rather than forwards since the restart. What happened to FGE? Well, Patrick retired at the end of lap 1. Not too sure why. He just decided to. And Simbrox one has caused the only safety car by turning too early into the castle section. Yeah, he went sightseeing. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. But if you actually hear earlier, Cam, we actually had a mid-race interview with Simbrox one to get his thoughts on that race, and I think he was actually maybe more glad to maybe have been out of that, if I'm honest. As up at the front, Ogwin and Flo have gone into the box, so they're going to go into another set of medium tyres, and it looks like Easton there is also going to go into the pits. So Joe Murphy and M-Racer and Placky stay out. They'll be on new top 3. Can some people try and make this last? I don't know. There's no point in Joe Murphy risking this with the lead that he had. But can the likes of could Placky maybe stay out and try and take his tyres to the end? Yes, Kazi. I mean, Joe has just been on a completely different level to everybody else. I mean, he had a quarter of a second gap in qualifying, and even before the safety car, he had a good lead over Ogwin and Gabor before we then had the safety car, and it's just extended that gap now. I know it's 5 seconds now, but his gap was over 3 seconds to Ogwin, who is the net P2. So yeah, Joe has just been on a different level here. Yeah, hopefully with that undercut that that Ogwin is taking, it might gain him a bit closer, but he has got Flo that's joined in with him. It's not all about you, Cam. Some interesting things going in the chat, as I think that's now the 5th time now I've seen yellow flags come out for Partick, and I think this time he's gone on at turn 2. As the top 3 now do decide to go into the box, it looks like FRT's Harvey is going to stay out, as has TF10 Trey and Sasha Andre. Now, do they stay out to the... Well, I was going to say, do they stay out to the end? But look at that. Joe Murphy has just exited the pits and is already right behind FRT Harvey. As Typical has gone a different strategy here to everyone else. He has gone for the soft compounder tyre, whereas everybody else, even including Joe Murphy and M-Racer, have gone onto the mediums. But Joe Murphy, they're down the inside of Harvey into turn 4, gives him a little bit of a budge and a barge out with the way there. But that's an important move there by Joe, and immediately gets back into P3. The gap between himself and Ogwin has come down. The gap was over 3 seconds, closest to 3.5. It is now at about 2.4, so it seems to have gained about a second as Ogwin, but it's not enough for It's not enough at the moment to get him anywhere near Joe Murphy for now. What he does need to do is close up to the back of Harvey, which he has done, and get a move done straight away with DRS down into turn 1. Yeah, the gaps are very widespread, as you can see. There's not very many people close together. I mean, you've got Ogwin and Flo close to, as Jacob gets the first time penalty of this entire race. How do you get a time penalty here at Baku? I do not know. But here comes Ogwin now, going to go to the left-hand side of Harvey, who's got no battery to defend with, and I expect Flo, as Harvey's actually given up and he's going to go into the box, and Flo doesn't need to do anything. Yeah, I mean, that is, obviously, yeah, that's definitely possible. But how you manage to do that many times and still keep on doing it is beyond me. But as Joe Murphy has now taken P2 away from Sasha Ondrej, so I think Sasha and Trey have decided they are going to stay out till the end of the race on these older medium tyres and see if they can benefit anything from this whatsoever with 7.5 laps to go. As Justin getting very close to the back of Placky there. So Justin has gained quite a bit out of this. And now has gained to the back of the TTM man, who I think at the moment is net P4. Something like that anyway. Yeah, no, I keep saying this. You know, Justin has done a really good job here, and is having a very good drive. Magician has managed to get himself now up into 9th after being the first person to make their pit stop on the second attempt. As that is Magician. Actually, now that I say that, has binned it, and we have another safety car. And well, there he is. Go on board with Liam through the castle section. And there's his car there. No front right tyre, game over. And that is NVR's race well and truly summed up. So those who stayed out, so Sasha in P3 and Trey up in 1st, have now got a free pit stop. So they're going to go onto the softs. Joe Murphy has to respond and come into this. They have to go for this. Ogui stays out. As does... Oh, no. Who's the Shazoo engineer tonight? Smeg, do we have one? Oh no. Well, the only good thing is at least they have Placky behind them. That's the only good thing. You're engineering. Why didn't you pit them? Oh, dearie me. Okay, well, I will take it back, Smeg, if they at least finish where they should have been, which I think would have been 2nd and 4th. Smeg's clearly been having something very, very strong. Yeah, Kazi, I'll join you with that. If this works, I will be inspired. And I will take it back. The only other thing that I can say is because of how far back, not so much the Ferraris, but the likes of Gabor and Partik are, this safety car is not going to come in until the end of lap 22. So we'll end up with 4 racing laps. That is the only plus thing that I can say. Cam has redeemed Deutsche sprechen. I mean, the last time I did German, Cam, was when I was in school, and as everybody knows, that was a long time ago. So I don't think I can, unfortunately, and I can't give you your 3,000 you know, coins back or whatever. But yeah, soz. I ain't gonna be speaking any German. Real ones speak fluent 1940s. Yeah, well, I wasn't around in the 1940s. You know, surprisingly. I was barely around in, you know, I was around in the early to mid 90s, yeah, but not then. Quib has requested a fact. God. Yes, I was still, well, yeah, you could say that. Request a fact. I mean, I'm not going to go with a boring fact. The fact that I'm now 31 and not 30 anymore. Okay, here's a fact then that I will. Oh God, no. We won't do that one. That's boring as well. I don't know what fact to give you. Yeah, I know, Joseph. I know. Funny, isn't it? It's good, isn't it? Slowly getting closer to 40. Well, no doubt I'll have a hell of a lot more grey hairs. Lap 21, though, of this AEC TRS Baku Grand Prix, of what has been, to be honest, a slightly uneventful race. I'm surprised we've only had 2 safety cars. Hey, if I'm still at the top of Xbox at 40, that tells you 3 things. 1, I'm just goated. 2, everyone else must be that bad at the game. And 3, what the hell am I still doing, you know, doing that sort of thing at the age of 40? But we'll ask ourselves that question in 9 years' time. Or if you use the GIF like that Cam's done and pretend that I'm a dog, then that's in 56 years' time. Or what seems like 56 years. Oh, actually, do you know what, Smeg, you've just actually made me think of a good point there. Seeing as Tez's favourite 2 teams are FRT and Shazoo, it's Bobbert's, Cam. Bobbert's is your streamer. I'm your commentator. But yeah, as I was going to say, yeah, Tez, because, yeah, you know, FLT and Shazoo are your favourite teams. Do you want to give Plucky to do us a favour? Well, Smeg, look, if this works out, then I will get on my knees and bow down to you, alright? As Justin has retired. What the hell has just happened? Why has he binned it on the exit of turn 2? After all that hard work. Oh dear. Well, he did have controller issues because he actually crashed during quali. I wonder if it was because of that. Oh dear. It's unfortunate. Oh, I feel for him, man. I feel for him. I'm gonna have to see in the chat as to what the hell's happened. Yeah, well, unfortunately, Joseph, the lobby was set up correctly, so we're not going to be having any red flags. As the safety car, as I thought, will come at the end of lap 22. We will have 4 racing laps to decide this Baku Grand Prix. It is a Shazoo 1-2 at the moment with a very questionable smeggy strategy, as we'll call it. But let's see what happens. What can Placky do in P3? Can he hold off that entire field of soft runners? No doubt Ogwyn is going to go at the last possible second. And no doubt, obviously, these two will be in a party together. Ogwyn will tell Racer when he's going to go. And hopefully try and get a bit of a gap to those behind them. Trey is the first of the soft tyre runners. Can he get the move done as soon as possible? Joe Murphy obviously now has to make some moves done himself. It's the first time we'll have to do some overtaking, but here we are back underway for the final 4 laps of this Grand Prix. And Trey was not close enough to Placky to make a move into turn 1. It looks like everyone seems to be cleaned safely in behind it. Like Joseph Hales was trying to make a move down the inside of Easton there through turn 2. Now down the first DRS straight. Trey is on the battery. He wants to get this overtake done. Placky defends in the middle of the circuit. Trey going to look for an outside. Oh, I thought Racer got it. Oh, Racer's gone. He's gone and outbroke himself. I thought he got too close to Ogwyn, and instead he's gone straight on, and Mick has just completely messed up there. But Ogwyn still leads. He's now over a second clear as Joe Murphy tried to go around the outside of Trey. You don't see overtaking done there, and Sasha Andre trying to get a piece of the action as well. Joe Murphy trying to go now around the outside as we enter the castle section. Joe Murphy, what a move! What a move from the BRT man. He's now up into P3. He's got 9/10 of a second to close in onto the back of Placky. Ogwyn has a gap. He can save his battery a little bit. But look at all these soft tyre runners though. Look at them just closing, going one by one. Racer is at least onto the back of the field. He's not dropped out of the train, but he's gone from what was a Shazoo 1-2 to a Shazoo sandwich. Yeah, Kelsey, I've got to agree. Joe Murphy he is really good, and especially at this circuit. He's doing a great job. But look at Trey now on the battery. Trey wanting to get that P3 back from Joe Murphy. Trey going to be on the outside into turn 1. Can Joe Murphy outbreak him into turn 1? He's trying. He goes down the inside. Trey tie. Oh, he's clipped the wall. Trey has clipped the wall on the exit there. I don't know if he's picked up damage. But Trey dropping like a stone now. He's now down behind his teammate. He's got Harvey now all over the back of him. I can't see, like I said, he hasn't lost an end plate there. It doesn't look like it. He might have got very small. He could have small wing damage potentially. But Joe Murphy lunged it down the inside a little bit. I mean, it was all fair, to be honest. It looked like there was just enough space. But, or initially I thought there was just enough space, but maybe not. But that is Trey now down into P6. As Joe Murphy now on the back of Placky, who's actually closed up to Ogwyn here. Joe Murphy faking a look down the inside. He doesn't need to rush now. He does not need to rush. He's got 2.5 laps to get ahead of both of these drivers. And DRS will be active at the start of next lap. Flo now closing on the back of Sasha. Joe Murphy looking like he was half going for a move there. Going up the hill, you normally don't see overtaking manoeuvres done there. But he stays behind Placky for the time being. Sasha being hunted down now by TF10 Flo. Here comes Joe Murphy down the inside. And again, bulldozing his way through a little bit, forcing Placky off track a little bit there. Well, to be fair, Liam, Sasha did get it a little lucky with the safety car, but here we go. The games are already started. Ogwyn isn't doing them, going from weaving side side. Look at that, 3 wide in behind. Oh, is this going to be chaos into turn 1? Placky trying to get moved in. Oh, Placky turning it too early, and Placky's round. Jesus Christ, I need a drink. Placky there, I think, turned in too early, not realising that Joe was still there. Yes, I know, Joseph, I'm dead. Definitely dead. But yeah, Placky, I think, turned in too early on Joe. Joe couldn't really do anything, and it looked like the Alpine of Sasha actually went into the back of him as well. Well, sorry, went into the side of him. I don't know if he's... Well, I think Sasha's got damage. I think Sasha might have some damage. Again, it doesn't look like it from the front here, but it could be light green damage there. But the top 3 have now got a gap, and Joe getting impatient. It looks like he's getting very impatient trying to get these moves done. Flo is still there with him. It's probably going to be a 3-car race to the end of this, but Sasha's actually closing back in, so maybe he's survived. Maybe he's all right. it's gonna be interesting after the race to see what inquiries are sent in. Joe Murphy now less than 3/10 off the back of Ogween. He hasn't got a lot of battery to play with, but the DRS down here is so powerful, and look at him all over the back of the Shizou driver. But I think we need to be on board with TF10 Flo. Flo has more battery than Joe Murphy. Joe Murphy now flashing as they go onto the main straight. And we're now going to start the final lap of this race. Can Flo get close enough to the back of the two in front? Joe Murphy then going to go to the inside of Ogween into turn one. Can he get the move done? Yes, he can. This time, no issues whatsoever. Oh, apart from a little wiggle there on exit. Flo trying to fake for a move down the inside into turn two. Nothing going to happen there. In behind, Trey going to go diving down the inside of Sasha Andre. There's weaving going on up in front. Sasha does not have the DRS. In fact, he's going to lose 2 places because here comes FRT. Typical now as Ogween getting squeezed into the wall there by Joe Murphy, and Flo takes advantage of that and takes P2. Joe, a little bit, Joe's getting very aggressive. I must say, the guy who was cool as a cucumber out in front earlier, that he's turned on the heat and he's turned on the afterburners. Trey has now obviously moved up into P4, typical P5. Sasha down into P6. What is still a good performance. His teammate Easton is now behind him in P7, so a good result here at the moment, but we've still got half a lap to go as everyone comes through the castle section for the final time of this Baku race. Placky still in P9 on those medium tyres. I think the medium tyres might now start to be the better race tyre, but it's not really going to matter with, what, a quarter of a lap to go. He's got on board with Flo. He's got 8.5 to make up on Joe Murphy. Look at Joe Murphy. Look at the gap that Joe's just pulled out there at the last part of this final lap. I don't think Flo is going to be close enough. I don't think Flo's even going to get the DRS. Ogween will have the DRS. Ogween has a little bit more battery. It's going to be a run to the line. It looks to me like Joe Murphy is going to win this race, and indeed he is going to. Here comes Ogween. Can he beat TF10 Flo across the outline? The answer is no. Joe Murphy wins this race from Flo, and Ogween just over 3/10 covers the top 3 in the end, but no doubt there's going to be some questions and inquiries after that at the end of that race. Typical getting driver of the day there. Who voted for him? Bloody hell. That was, yeah. That sure as hell was something. That was a frantic finale with those last 4 laps with that safety car. But Joe Murphy is your provisional race winner here at Baku. And to be honest, even after everything that's happened, he's just, I'd say he has deserved it on merit. But like I said, you know, inquiries and things can be sent in. TF10 Flo takes second and Ogween takes third place with Trey in P4. So TF10 having a really good race here in the end, finishing second and fourth respectively. Typical from 18th to 5th is a good recovery for the FRT man after crashing in qualifying. Sasha P6 of what could have been better for Sasha. A podium was definitely on the cards there for him. But in the end, it is P6. His teammate Easton is P7. Gabor somehow recovered for being second to last on that restart, 8th. So it's at some points at least for NVR there. Placky's 9th. Harvey rounds out the top 10 with Joseph 11th. M Racer gets up into 12th with Liam 13th and Partik is 14th at the final points paying finishers. And Jacob is 15th, and they are your non-finishers of Justin, Magician, Simbrox 1 and Patrick. Blimey. Yes, it was. Look, Quib, I'm coming down with something. All right, I was surprised that I even lasted that long before I started. Like I said, that was something. One thing I'm not doing is interviews because I need to give this a rest. But beautiful comms. Well, if it was a slightly more exciting full-on race, then yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But thanks everyone for joining. Obviously, what was a decent race. Hopefully the point standings and that get updated soon, so we can actually do that. and go through them with you. But thanks for coming. We'll see you all again next week. Take care.